So yes, there are many differences in chiropractic. Many chiropractors treat pain or treat symptoms. In our office, of course, we want the pain to be diminished and gone for life, but there's way more to that. Our spine and nerve system not only control pain, which is only 10% of nerve supply, 90% controls body function. So if you've heard my story, I lived with chronic digestion problems, wetting my bed, chronic sickness, chronic bladder problems, and then I had sinus, allergies, an immune system, and then one day my back seized up on me at age 17. So I suffered with sickness or symptoms here, press a nerve, irritate a nerve, have a reaction, sickness. Finally, when it hit my pain part, I had pain. And once I had pain, I sought out a chiropractor. But you see, this first chiropractor didn't explain this. He laid me down, he adjusted me, and said, Aaron, if you're in pain next week, come on back. If not, I guess I'm good. I didn't have pain for 5 years. The adjustment was incredible for the 10% nerves, but for the next 5 years, I continued to get sicker and worse with my GI system, my allergies, my sinus, my irritable bowel, which was, I had very hard time controlling my own bowels. Yet I was an athlete, I was strong, fast, run, I was playing competitive rugby at the time, a physical education teacher, and a fitness instructor in the gym working out 7 days a week. So I was healthy compared to life standards. But I was sick on the inside, falling apart. And it wasn't until I discovered the second chiropractor that he took an x-ray and showed that I had an imbalance in my low back, causing nerve pressure, and these nerves supply organ function. Pressure on the nerves creates organ dysfunction. When I saw that x-ray, it blew me away because my hips were out of balance. So if we check your posture and your posture is out of balance, there may be something disrupted on the inside. And that inside is your spinal cord and your nerve system. If that's interfered with, you're going to have breakdown. So it's not just about pain. Let me show you the x-rays. So this is why we take x-rays. The only way to see the health of the spine and the strength of the spine is by taking an x-ray, an inside look. So when we do an evaluation and we see posture imbalances, maybe range of motion, restriction, anything we find that may be hindering movement, we're going to take an x-ray. And this is why. So when this is my neck, I'm looking this way. We're looking at the side view of my neck. We want to see a big arc in the neck. We also want to see nice square bones and a space that allows, that's the disc, that allows those bones to stay open so the nerve can flow out freely. So here is my bone. That's the structure here. And here's the disc. So the space needs to be nice and big in every area. If not, what happens is over time, degeneration or degenerative disc disease, degenerative arthritis will occur. That means the joint is wearing away, the disc is getting crushed, and there's no room for that nerve to come out. So that nerve gets compressed or choked or irritated. Now, if that nerve goes into the 10% of the muscle, the joint that causes pain, you have pain, and sometimes it's excruciating. I've had it. But if it goes to the 90% to control organ function, you're going to have disruption in organ function. Asthma, like my wife had. Acid reflux that many babies and kids have, and adults. Heart conditions. GI problems and irritable bowel like I had. Maybe it's your immune system. You're allergic to everything. So wherever those nerves are attached, sex organs, you may have sexual dysfunction because of your low back or your nerves being out of alignment, spine being out of alignment, choking on nerves. So let's just go through a few. And these are x-rays pulled up for me today. So I didn't pull up the best of the best or the worst of the worst. So I'm just going through what we see on a daily basis. So here's the first x-ray. You see how there's no curve, and down in this lower joint of the neck, the disc is already degenerating. It's already half gone. Young person with chronic arthritis. Now those nerves in the lower neck come across the shoulders into the traps. Many of you go, oh man, my traps, my neck is just sore. Just rub it out. You can't rub that out. You can't take a vitamin and get rid of that, and you can't eat better or exercise that out. You need adjusted, and you need to improve the structure. So when I look at an x-ray, I'm not looking for pain. I'm looking at what's causing destruction. That joint that keeps wearing away is crushing the nerve. The nerve is trying to supply life. If that nerve doesn't have life to it, that organ doesn't have life, that organ and tissue will die. It's very critical. And as we age, what tends to happen? We get sicker and weaker and older and start depending on medications. And they say, well, it's just old age, man. Well, I'm 54. I take no medication. I play competitive rugby with 20 and 30-year-olds. I can run and play. I get up every morning with lots of energy. I work out 5 to 7 days a week. I feel absolutely amazing. So let's go with another x-ray. So here is a back x-ray. Here's the right hip and the left hip. So if you see this, the one hip is lower than the other, and then there's a curve in the spine. It should be completely straight. Like if I wore a tie, it would be completely straight, or the buttons on your shirt. Let's just go down through a few. There's another person with a bend in their low back. Here's another person with 1, 2, 3 discs, not just one disc, but 3 discs in a degenerative state like this, already in phase 2 degeneration. It's the low back, it's hard to see, but disc degeneration in the low back. Here's somebody that actually has a decent curve. So it's not, there's no degeneration, it's relatively healthy. He's losing this forward head, he's gaining forward head posture. That's a lot of computer stuff, but that can be easily corrected compared to somebody that already has phase 2 degeneration. Now, if you have phase 2 degeneration and you're having arm pain, hand pain, the nerves that come down here, that's the reason why. Chronic headaches, chronic thyroid problems, chronic asthma, chronic breathing problems. There's always a reason why. You have to discover it. Here's another neck. So this person, the neck is like this, sticking way forward, and these lower discs are nearly fused on each other. Nearly bone on bone. Now this may be a person at age 60 and up. It takes a few years for this to develop, but 60 is very young. I'm 6 years away from 60, and you saw my neck. I have a good curve, good disc spacing. So that's why it's critical to take an x-ray. So if you haven't had an x-ray of your spine, nobody can see. We don't have x-ray vision. We can't see the strength of your spine if there is degeneration, because if you have this now, whatever age, you've got to stop it and improve it. Let me show you an x-ray. This is going to be, hopefully it won't be a glare to this, but these are before and afters that we show people. Here's somebody that had a straight neck, and as they went through our correction program to actually put the bend back in the neck, the x-ray within just a few months had curvature to it. The reason we want to have a bend in our neck is the bend acts as a spring. So as we walk, it can absorb the shock. If it doesn't have the bend and it's straight, every time you walk, you're pounding the spine in and it degenerates. It wears out. Now look at this. This is really cool. This is a gentleman who's 77. Look at his disc spacing. They're gone. This is like bone on bone. Now there was a slight line in between there. It's hard to see. So he still had some disc space, but it was virtually gone. It was nearly bone on bone. 77 years old. He did care. He continued doing home rehab and getting adjusted. And this is over a 2-year span. But look what happened to his 2 discs. This one and this one. They regenerated. They opened up and healed. Isn't that amazing? So even at his age, at 77, our discs can regenerate, but we have to do the right thing. Had I not had an x-ray, I would have never known, am I helping him, what type of care he needs, and I'd never know with a post x-ray, did I even do anything? That's how cool that is. Let's just take one more look at how all these nerves connect to your body, your symptoms, your function, and how profound this is. So let's look at this. Up in the upper neck area, it supplies the brain, cranial nerves, eyes, ears, nose, throat, sinuses. Look at it all controls what symptoms can occur. Spacey, low energy, memory problems, tinnitus, earaches, sleeping disorders, allergies, snoring. Then as we go down through the neck supplies the diaphragm for breathing, shortness of breath, allergies, thyroid, sugar handling problems, weight gain, stomach, shoulder, arm, hand, fingers. So that's why the hand and fingers go numb. But those same nerves that supply the hands and fingers supply the stomach, liver, and heart. And then it gets into the lungs, asthma, heart conditions, gallbladder, stomach. So those of you with acid reflux, there may be nerve pressure blocking this. Pancreas, spleen and immune function, lowered resistance, lowered immune system. Liver, adrenal glands, that's energy. Small intestine, kidneys and bladder infections, bladder problems, not being able to hold your bladder properly. The ileocecal valve, cecum, so your bowels, how, especially in babies, can they go to the bathroom? Are they chronically constipated? And then it gets into sex organs, reproductive organs, so forth. So you can see how the entire nerve system controls all body function. And if there's stress on the nerve system, then you'll have dysfunction in your body. So that's why it's imperative to have a very high quality exam, taking x-rays and doing a deep analysis to see, is there nerve stress? Is there degeneration or arthritis? What condition is your spine is, and what is needed to actually correct it, not just to remove a symptom. That's why we do what we do in our office. We investigate, find, and then correct. We expect rapid results for a lifetime.